fighting games, schmiting games.
Hello and welcome to episode 61 of Chet and John's reassuringly finite gaming playlist. My name is John Denton. With me as always, Chet Roivas.
George Peterson, Chicago Police.
The things I have to put up with. You know the deal by now. 2 top 10 lists, going from 10 to 1, 10 being the game we played the least, 1 being the game we played the most. Let's do this thing, Chet.
All right, okay. Right, my number 10 is an Xbox Live indie game called Heroes of Rock. The cover art, as usual, it's a complete rip-off of Brutal Legends cover. And if there was any money in it, I suppose it might be worth getting a lawsuit together. The game is a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up, but the gimmick is that it uses the Guitar Hero guitars. And I didn't realise. I downloaded it, didn't realise it, and then when it says utilises all of the artwork is based around the Guitar Hero 2 guitar, the really ugly white one. The only good ones. Because I've still got them. The other ones have since died. Every other model of guitar, but that one's still going. You strum to move left or right, and then you use the buttons to do different attacks. All of the attacks do pretty much the same thing. It's set on an abandoned, what looks like a rough housing estate with loads of graffiti and stuff, and there's nobody around. It's really, really cheap. You can tell it's really cheap. Obviously, it's a fucking indie game, but the assets are just that there isn't any. You don't have life. There's a volume dial which goes up to... No?
Oh, 11. I thought you said it goes up to 2.
No, it goes up to 11, and then the music gets louder and stuff. The enemies are all the same. It's just button mashing. It's perhaps a nice idea to get an extra bit of usage out of those old bits of plastic, but it's a pretty shite game, I have to say.
Yeah, I think I actually saw the cover for this as I was scanning through the indie games today, but I didn't download it myself.
Yeah, there's no point.
Yeah, talking of terrible side-scrolling beat-em-ups, I downloaded on your request Double Dragon 2 on Xbox Live. Now, when you talked about it the other day, I didn't quite compute that it was a proper remake with polygons. I just thought that somehow they'd done a port and they'd just done it badly. I don't know why I thought that. But anyway, yeah, it's, as you say, it's pretty fucking awful. I couldn't believe how bad it was. At first, I picked Billy because he had this giant fist in the picture. and then I was kicking a few guys and I was like, this isn't that bad. I mean, obviously it's shit, but it's not that bad. And then as I kept playing, I was like, oh no, this really is that bad. I can't believe that it's been made. I don't understand why it's been made. And then the real coup de grace was when the boss fight kicks in and this guy, fuck knows what he is, sort of seemingly dressed like some sort of S&M beetle. He jumps off a roof and he slaps some barrels, but he misses them. And then the boss fight starts. Fucking crap. No animation. Nothing's got any animation. Like you said the other week, the guard system's completely broken. But even getting to that, that's like suggesting that it's a game. Yeah. But to be fair, even talking about a guard system's a waste of time because that suggests that there's even a video game here. It looks like a fucking Net Euros game from the PlayStation 1 era. I can't hate it because I only downloaded the trial, but I'd be pretty disappointed if I'd shelled out even a penny on this.
Yeah. It's weird. When I listened back to that show where I spoke about it, I felt terrible because I didn't really adequately explain what was so bad about it. But it is just, if talking about games, writing about games is like a talent show, like the X Factor, this game is one of those people that, like a fat northern bloke who's just come in and he just wants to impress his mates and appear on TV. I was only trying to have a laugh. Fuck off. Yeah. It's hard not to have contempt for it. It's like, I was only trying to piss around. Stop wasting my time, you shitbag.
I don't understand why it exists. I do not understand. Why Double Dragon 2?
Isn't that meant to be the best? That's meant to be the best one, right?
Right, but I mean, it's obviously nothing like the real Double Dragon 2. So if you're going to remake it, I just don't understand. I don't understand.
Genuine.
It's like it's almost like it's some weird dream and it isn't real, but it is real.
Okay, my number 9 is a game called Itano Alpha Fight on the Xbox. It's another indie game. As usual, great box art. It's a terrible, terrible animation of something that's supposed to look like an X-wing fighter from Star Wars.
Right.
But it's all misshapen and out of proportion and stuff. And there's a tagline. It says "High-speed lock-on action." So yeah, it instantly downloaded. It's bad, but it's not terrible. It's basically wants to be a really, really lo-fi Rogue Leader or Rogue Squadron, one of those old Star Wars shooters.
Oh, yeah.
The problem is that 30% of the screen, the centre of the screen, is taken up by this giant ship. There's no assets. Again, you're flying through a load of clouds. There's nothing in the backgrounds. And ships appear, and the lock-on's a little bit iffy. You have to hold your ship in place, which is really quite hard because it also moves you around the screen, and then these other reticules come up that show where you're going to, where projectiles are being hurled at you. It's quite pleasantly hectic, and it does nick ideas from the right places, because I love those Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron. I love those games. So it's kind of nice, but it's just
What the hell's it called?
Itano Alpha Flight. I don't know why. I don't know what Itano is. Itano.
No idea.
Yeah, no idea either. Yeah, I mean it's fine for about 5 minutes, but it's just the same thing, repeat. But it's okay. I didn't
80
hate
points?
it. Yeah, I think so. I didn't even check.
Yeah. All right. Forgettable. My number 9 is Poker Night 2 on Xbox Live Arcade, a game that I didn't know existed because of the completely unremarkable name. But it's have you seen this?
I think I've probably played it. Yeah.
It's by Telltale, and it's a game of poker with Claptrap from Borderlands, Ash from Army of Darkness / Evil Dead, whatever, and Sam from Sam and Max, and a big blonde bloke called Brock, who might be from something, but I don't know what he's from, hosted by GLaDOS. And it's just Texas Hold'em, but you're playing with those people, and they're all voiced by the appropriate people. I'm not 100% sure if it's Bruce Campbell, but I think it might be. And it's just really stylish and well done. It's kind of cool. It seems to be some sort of play-to-earn title as well on Xbox. I don't quite know what that means. I've not paid attention to any of that, if that's a thing. But in terms of poker games, it's bloody good.
I haven't played that at all. That sounds all right.
Yeah, it's brand new, I think. Yeah, it's very cool. It's like one of those things that you'd think that you'd have heard of, but... Yeah, a crossover like that, but I hadn't heard of it.
Yeah, did you say that Bruce Campbell did the voice?
I don't know, because I only played it for a little bit, and the things that he voiced were kind of mumbled, so it certainly sounded like him, but I couldn't pick it for sure.
Right.
But I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, what's he doing? Just sitting around.
Yeah, true. But how much was it?
I don't know. Actually, I just downloaded the free trial. I would assume 12, but maybe 8.
All right.
But yeah, very, very nicely done. But it's jerky, like Walking Dead. Their engine's just fucked.
Yeah. Did you? I take it the troll doesn't allow you to play online against people.
No, it's just local.
All right. Pesh. Okay, my number 8 is Race the Sun.
Oh yeah.
Which you spoke about last week, was it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
On Congregate with a K. Incidentally, if you go into Google and type "Race the Sun Congregate," the top hit is a game called "Run from the Sun" on Congregate, which is a completely different game, which I played, and I was like, "This is all right, but it's nothing particularly special." So yeah, be aware of that. Race the Sun. It's really good. It has, as you said, got its Kickstarter total, so it's in development. Oh my god, it's addictive. Incredibly hard at first. I think you explained it last week. You're just a ship speeding through these fairly barren environments with all these obstacles in the way, and the sun's in the distance, and you've got to go fast to try and outrun the sun. It's really fucking addictive. I can't believe they really nail the sense of speed. You really feel like you're fucking hammering along something chronic. And as you get closer to the sun, or as you start going slower, the sun starts to go down, and then you have to be really, really reckless. And not only that, you don't not only get a sense of speed when you're whizzing past these things, and they get so close to you, because there are a lot of obstacles in the way, and the controls are so tight. It's just, I was impressed. I just kept another go. Have you seen the trailer that's on the LinkedIn? I was going to say, what the hell's it? Just Kickstarter on the Kickstarter page.
I have seen it. Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, some of the ideas that they've got. It's just, I mean, the game itself, as it is, the alpha build that's on Congregate is great ideas already. But the fact that you can sort of, in the finished game, there's going to be random portals that you can fly into, and it's going to be maps that have been made by the community.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be another sort of, you can play the game, and then once you die, a friend carries on, and then a friend carries on, and then there's a leaderboard based on how the lot of you got, how far. I mean, it's what I've never heard that done. What a cool idea! Bursting with great ideas. I can't wait to play the full thing. I'm definitely going to get it. It's just a shame. I mean, I don't play games on PC, as I've said a million times. So I mean, it's just, I hope that it goes elsewhere. Other than iOS, because you can't nail those controls the way they've been nailed in this.
No, really definitely not. It'd be a good fit on Vita or something like that, I think.
Yeah, probably right, yeah. So hopefully it ends up there, because PC games are starting to... I mean, Thomas Was Alone's on there now. They're starting to seem a bit more susceptible to the idea of porting things like that over. But yeah, Race the Sun on Congregate with a K. Check it out. It's really completely hooked me for best part of half an hour.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah, I'm glad I remembered that it existed last week. That's all right. My number 8 is Battleblock Theatre, the Behemoth game on Xbox Live. I'd seen some good reviews. It's kind of weird. They've only made 3 games in the whole time that I've been doing this job, which is like 8 or 9 years or something like that. And Alien Hominid came out like a million years ago. They made Castle Crashers, which did phenomenally well for what is ostensibly just a very simple scroll and beat 'em up. And then now this has come out, which is a platformer, and all their stuff's really stylish. Like the art style's brilliant. The humour is, it's their own humour. It doesn't really gel with me. It's a bit annoying, but it's charming and it has its own place, I guess. And this seems like a really tight platformer. I think there's a co-op element which I couldn't try out in the trial. But it's just about going into a level and collecting gems, but every single level has a bunch of new ideas in it, just simple stuff like you come up to water, your little guy can't swim, but you can knock down a little paper boat that'll fall in the thing, and then you can stand by the water and splash it, so sort of paddle along the water so the boat comes towards you, like as if you were paddling in a bath and making your duck come towards you or whatever. It seems really cool. It's 1,200 points, and I just don't know at this stage in Xbox Live and everything else that's flying around on Steam at the moment whether or not I'd be prepared to drop that much on a game like this. But you can't fault them for style and aesthetic and all that kind of thing. They do not want to do it, but I'm amazed they're able to keep going. I think it's only 2 people, but 3 games in 9 years. That's quite a slow turnout for an indie studio.
Is it really just 2 guys?
It certainly was, because the reason I remember it so vividly is the first issue of Games TM I ever worked on. They used to do a thing where they'd visit a studio, and that would be a running feature every issue. And the first one on the first issue that I ever worked on was with these guys. So it's kind of I remember it because that first couple of weeks when I worked in that office, everything was all about Alien Hominid for some reason. And when I played, I thought it was too hard, and I didn't like it that much.
Yeah.
But if it is still just those 2 guys, I'd be amazed if it is, because it's such a complete game. There seems to be so many options and things to do, and I don't know, but yeah, that Castle Crashers is done very well for them, obviously, so it's made them some dollar.
Yeah, I've heard about this. I've heard a lot of people on Twitter going absolutely bananas for it, but I didn't really like Castle Crashers. And Alien Hominid should have been a game that, I mean, when I saw screenshots. I imported the American GameCube version years ago. And I was just like, I'm not really enjoying this. And then I was so desperate to like it, I even rebought it when it appeared on Xbox Live Arcade. Still didn't like it then. It's just something about it didn't click with me. Didn't like Castle Crashers. Didn't they do something? What was the other thing they've done? Have they done something else? Is it just those 3?
I think it's just those 3. I'm pretty sure.
Wow. Fuck. I could have sworn they had their name on something else. But I'll probably check out the trial at some point.
Yeah, definitely do. It's definitely fun. When I played it, it's a lot of fun. It's a really cool platformer. The mechanics are super tight. And from the reviews that I've read, I sort of skim-read a few. I think it's got a lot of good ideas later on, so I can't really talk about that, because obviously I haven't seen it. But it does seem cool. It's just tough at the moment with these types of games with 1,200 points, because this is the type of thing that if it was on Steam, you could wait till the Steam sale, and one of them said there's 5 games of this standard out there at the moment. 1 or 2 of them are going to be a few quid on that sale, so you hold tight. Whereas on even the sales on Xbox, they ain't that special, really.
Apart from that one they did, which was fairly recently.
That just came completely out of the
blue.
Yeah, when they put loads of stuff super cheap, that was good.
I wonder
hopefully that's a sign of things to come.
Yeah, they must be testing the water, because I remember like Max Payne was a £5 and all these full price games were down to under £5. It was like they must be testing the water to hopefully start doing Steam-like sales at some point.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be the way it goes next gen on consoles, because like I said, having this PC for a few weeks, you just sit there and every day there's a game suddenly a game that's worth a lot of money, suddenly like £4 or £5. This week they did a Rockstar collection, like GTA 4, all the Max Paynes, LA Noire, all like £4 or £5. So I didn't get any, but I was tempted to. I was like, I could get this, and this, and I was like, no, stop, you're going to bankrupt yourself. But yeah, that keeps happening, so I can see why it's so popular.
Yeah,
and they'll do little flash sales and stuff. So yeah, hopefully that will be the way it goes.
Yeah, okay.
Especially as there's no game shops in Bournemouth now, literally.
What, really? There's not even...
The only thing that's left is HMV in town, and that's got like 4 games, and they'll cost £1,000. And then there's a game in a place called Boscombe, which is like, you don't want to go to Boscombe. There's no reason to ever go there unless you want to buy some smack. So that's about it.
All right, duly noted. All right, okay. My number 7 is a game called Battle High 2 on the Xbox. It's another indie game.
There's a lot of games called Battle something on Xbox Live indie games, I noticed.
Is that true?
Yeah, there was about probably 40.
Okay, that sounds about right. Funnily enough, I went through them alphabetically the other day, and there was some. I think I started on B as well. I didn't notice any battle or anything, but if you go through them in alphabetical order, just pick a letter, and you'll find gold straight away. It's just like being in the greatest video library of all time. Just crap. I love all that rubbish. But Battle High 2, don't know what Battle High 1 was. It's front and centre of the marketplace. So if you go to games,
right. Yeah, I saw this actually just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, it's a beat 'em up. That's correct. A beat 'em up. Yeah, and it's a really good one. It's 80 Microsoft points, and you're like, it's clearly been made by people who know their fighting games, and yeah, it's surprisingly passable. It looks like a high-end SNES game. But it's a lot more sort of modern like that. There's all of the the special moves, and there's a super meter and stuff. Is
it a fighting game, like a competitive fighting game?
Is it beat 'em up when you're walking along like Streets of Rage, or is it one-on-one Street Fighter?
I think that beat 'em up is like in the olden days would cover all of it, but now I think the one-on-ones are called fighting games generally, and the other ones are brawlers.
Okay. Isn't a one-on-one a brawler? Oh, fuck. I don't know.
No, the one-on-one's definitely not a brawler. Unless you're having to write an article about it, and then you'll inevitably call it a brawler at some point. You can't say fighting game 100 times.
True. Okay, it's crazy rules. Okay, it's a fighting game. But like I said, it's really surprising. It's surprisingly good. It's kind of set in... what was that old cartoon where there were kids and it was like a high school in space?
Oh, Galaxy High. That's what I was hoping it would be.
That's right. It's kind of like that, and it's clear. Clearly the main reference is Street Fighter. So it does. I mean, the combat really flows well, and you do get. I haven't played it with another person, but just against the AI, I'm like, this is actually really good. It's a really good fighting game. For 80 Microsoft points, it's quite remarkable. I don't think there's online play,
right?
But if you're hard up for cash and you want something with a mate on the couch to have a ruck, I mean, I was like, wow, there's actually moves and sort of techniques and stuff that I was starting to get my head around. And it's really nice, at the end when you win a fight, your picture comes up and the comments always like, you got beaten by a hall monitor, or that'll teach you for dating my girlfriend or some shit, sort of just cheese. But I was like, wow, it doesn't, because it looks quite cheap, but it kind of feels a lot more like an arcade game than an indie game for most of it, and bloody impressive.
Yeah, I was very close to clicking on that actually just before we did the podcast, so I might go back and do that.
If there's one thing that's always shit, it's cheap fighting games. Fighting games by and large are a wasteland because most people can't get that flow of combat right, and I was really, really fucking enjoying it. So definitely worth a look for the trial. I can't vouch for Battle High 1, but 2 is pretty gleam.
All right. Well, the reason I knew there was loads of games called Battle is because I was looking for Bleed, which I then downloaded, which is my number 7.
No way.
And I needed some games. We're recording this episode early, so we had to squeeze in a bunch of games. And I thought, why not? I've been meaning to download it and just completely forgot. And you're completely right. Even from the small amount that I've played, which is just the trial, you could see within like 3 screens, I could tell that it was really good. And then by the time I'm fighting that helicopter boss, and like the patterns that you have to learn quickly, and the way the triple jump works, and in tandem with the slow motion. Already, I was like, yeah. There's no doubt about this. I can see why Chet was banging on about this. It's just one of those games that you feel if it had come out of a slightly trendier studio. Now, I don't know anything about the guy or people that made it, but it seems like games like this keep getting picked up by media years before they come out and appearing on Destructoid, and they're all over packs and stuff like that. And this just feels like it could be one of them, like the Super Time Force or any of those things that Guacamelee that do get loads of press over the years, and it just seems to have, I'd never heard of it before you mentioned it. But it's all there.
I just noticed the other day because I saw it on the store. He's updated. I mean, I know he did it to the PC version, but there's even co-op now.
Oh yeah, it says that co-op now. It says that on the box art when you download it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to have to give that a try. Yeah, once you've mastered it, I mean, it's so. I mean, besides being just brilliant consistently the whole way through and not too long. You can basically fly. It's mastering the ability to use those, because the 3 triple jumps that you've got, and then use it in tandem with the slow mo to basically weave around stuff. Oh, it's a brilliant game, and I'm going to play it again. I take it you're not going to invest in the whole thing.
No, I think I might because it was very good. You said it's on PC as well, though.
It is. That's what I mean. You could probably get it for cheap.
That's what I'm going to look. I'm going to look at the price. I mean, it's only 400 points anyway, but I'll have a look. If it's super cheap on PC, then I might grab it on that. But really cool.
Yeah, I mean, and it gets better the whole way through. Just clever shit the whole way through. I love that game. I need to go back to it. Good. Well, I'm glad you had a look anyway.
Yeah, it's about time.
You said it, boy. Okay, right. My number 6 is Contra Rebirth on the Nintendo Wii. I completely forgot it existed. I remember it came out and I was like, I've got to get it. And then it just kind of, I suppose because it was on the Wii, and God knows, I mean, it came out in 2009, so something must have just been more interesting at the time. But I saw my brother at the weekend, and I just had a look on his Wii. He's got loads of WiiWare stuff, so I said, I've got to have a look. It's laughably difficult. I had to whack it down almost immediately to easy and up the number of lives you get, and it still was no picnic even then. I take it you didn't play this?
No, I haven't played this one though.
It's, you can forget about all the other Contras. This is a sequel to the SNES one. It looks like the SNES one. There's just references constantly. So one of the first things you do is fight one of the classic weaponized wall with all the it's been in every Contra game, but you remember it from the Super NES, or at least I did. And then there's a boss in the centre of the wall, and you've got to move around the outsides to do it. It's really. I mean, it's great. I mean, I didn't think I'd respond to it as much because Contra is something that I've played so many times and it's been lame so many times that I just thought I've fallen out of love with it a bit. Particularly the DS one, 4 was it Contra 4?
Yeah,
which was just too hard. Yeah, it was too hard and it was just kind of sloppily designed and whatnot. But this is really, really good. I think I did the majority of it in one sitting because when you whack it down to easy, you can continue pretty much from where you as soon as you die. There's something they've done that I think they've done it by design, but it actually makes the game really good because one of the most underrated buttons on the SNES Contra was holding down, I think it was the left bumper, and it would pin you to the ground. So rather than having to keep moving back and forth to get stuff on the ceiling, you just pin yourself to the ground and just shoot away.
Oh yeah.
Because you play it with the Wiimote sideways. Obviously, there's no shoulder buttons. So what they do is that they hold. You have to hold shoot button down. As soon as you hold shoot button down, you stick to the ground. And that's actually a brilliant system because it means that one of the worst things about the most recent Contras, particularly the PS2 one, Shattered Soldier or whatever it was, is that you just walk along and just run and hold the button. You just shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot. And it's the games are almost built to let you do that, and there's nothing exciting about it. Whereas here, you have to be smart because as soon as you hold down the button, you stop. And I found that to be actually quite clever. I mean, I'm sure they did it just to try and stop there, because there had to be a button for it somewhere, and it's actually made it really good. It's the balance is right. Like I said, Contra 4 was too hard. This is really difficult, but it's not too bad. It's not really aggressively difficult for the sake of it, and it's really good. I remember it got really great reviews at the time, and they're completely justified because at the time, again, Contra 4 got quite good reviews, and I thought that really disappointed me. But it's really good. Apparently, the studio that made it, they just do reboots. So they've done a Gradius Rebirth and Castlevania Rebirth. I don't know how great they are. I might have a look at them. But Yeah, it's just Contra. I mean, the things that the laser is still the shittest weapon that's ever been in any game ever, and it's still there. But most of it's really if you want more Contra, it's actually a really good continuation of the SNES version. So much better than the other shitty ones.
All right.
It's all right.
Yeah, I liked old Contra 3 back in the day.
Well, then you might like this.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to play it, but yeah, that sounds all right.
Genuine.
My number 6 is Bit Trip Runner 2. I can't remember the subtitle now. The fucking alien or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to like this. I've only played the trial. And everything about it starts with Charles Martinet talking, voice of Mario. I like that. The style of the old serialized sort of action show, done with the Bit Trip style, all cool. Gameplay starts. I'm enjoying it. It's just an endless runner where you have to jump and it all goes in time with the music. But then as it kept going, I just wasn't feeling it. The loading times were too long, which was frustrating for a game that wanted to get into the action. And I was having a really hard time seeing the stuff. It was so blurry. I found it really blurry for some reason. I don't know if it was my TV. I don't know if it was my eyes. And I just wasn't really feeling it. And I was wanting to like it more than I actually was liking it. So, yeah, I think I just played so many of those types of games when I was doing tons of iOS reviews last year that I just can't face another one. And it probably is really good later on, but yeah, I was struggling to see hitting something and then getting kicked back all the way to the beginning of the level. And that was that really.
That's really that's how many levels did you do? The whole of the trial?
Got towards the back end of the trial, yeah. But I was even from the very first level, I was struggling to see obstacles.
This is the 360 version.
Yeah.
What? That's really weird.
Yeah, it was something to do with the frame rate. Everything was blurry.
That's really strange.
Yeah, it might have just be on my TV. Maybe if I put it on the other TV in the lounge, it would sharpen up or something. But I have had the occasional problems with this TV with certain games. Ever like 3 ever, but. Yeah, I don't know.
Fuck, that's a real shame because I'm done with endless runners as well. I've got no interest at all. But this was really, and I didn't really even dig the music at all.
No, I definitely didn't dig the music.
Fuck, that's really something's wrong. I suppose you must. The last thing in the world you want to do is go back to it after you've had that kind of reaction.
It didn't kill me. I was just like, I'm not really feeling this as much as I kind of want to, and there's a lot of other 2D games that I've played in the last 2 hours, as you can tell, that I was probably liking more. I definitely like Bleed a lot more. I like Battleblock more. I didn't like Double Dragon more, but yeah. And I thought there's stuff like Guacamelee I want to play as well. So I'm certainly not going to be shelling out the 1200.
Yeah, I would have shelled out the 1200 if I had it to hand. Instead, I'm going to wait. But you should try the PC demo and see if you have the same effect.
Yeah, it's not a bad shout.
Yeah, all right. That's weird. That's a shame. Incidentally, Double Dragon 2, we should get it. We should both get it and then do it on co-op.
We'd have to pay for it.
So what? It'd be worth
How
the
much
money.
is it?
It's 800.
800.
Worth every
Almost
penny.
tempted.
It would be a mute. Actually, no. That's really teetering on the brink where it would be funny for 5 minutes, and then we'd want to fucking destroy people who made it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was not a good idea on my part at all. Okay, my number 5 is Trials Evolution. Smack Talk started again. It's just started all over again. It's like we've just got the game new again. Everyone's beating each other's times. All we do is get text messages from each other saying, "I've beaten your time, you're shit," blah blah. Yeah, it's gone.
I need to get back into it.
You don't want to because it's just like it's so fucking. Trials is a masterpiece, and I find it so easy to dismiss. And I just, if it was as sort of, I don't know, if it wasn't a masterpiece, all of the millions of imitators wouldn't be mediocre or god awful, and they are. It is just. I mean, those lists that come out every 5 years, the best games of all time, Metal Gear Solid, Mario, all that shit. This needs to go in up echelons of it because it is a stunning video game, but it's just so stressful. It's kind of like gambling. It's because. All right, practice makes perfect, but even the greatest player is only ever a hair's breadth away from doing the stupidest thing in the history of the human race. There's but the difference between success and failure has never been thinner in any game ever. The tiniest thing could fuck you for the whole race, and the tiniest thing could make you win a race. And it's just like it's that same excitement that you get from gambling, but the house always fucking wins. And once it starts getting into the hard levels, I'm just like, why are you trying to destroy me? I paid for you, and now you're being a complete cunt to me. It's tantalising, Trials. I mean, but at the same time, one of us will say, I'm only going to play this until I rage quit, because inevitably you do something wrong that's not even your fault. It's your stupid hands moving out of time for the split millisecond that it takes to get it right. It's so knackering playing it, because it's just fucking stress. But yeah, I mean,
I still want to play it.
I still want
to get back to it.
Yeah, we're doing. I mean, the multiplayer simultaneous are fun because it's all the easy tracks. But when we're trying to beat each other's ghosts and stuff, and you screw up at the last minute, it just makes you want to fucking yak your own intestines all over the floor. But yeah, hell of a game.
Yeah, hell of a game. You haven't done the DLC?
No, I think once there's a sale, I think we'll all get it, and then it's an excuse for us all to go even heavier.
It's supposed to be massive. The packs. Fuckloads of content apparently.
It wouldn't surprise. I mean, I'm sure that if we went onto the user created stuff, there's going to be fucking genius things in there.
Yeah, definitely.
A lifetime's worth of. Oh god, it's already got its hooks in, and it feels like we've all got gambling problems.
Still want to do it. I still want a gambling problem.
Do that.
My number 5, weird one, is I decided to go on a bit of a 3DS run, so I started with Mario Kart. 3D, which obviously is very good indeed. It's Mario Kart. Played a few races, and then started to play a few more. I didn't play online because that's actually why I stopped in the end, because I just wasn't enjoying it in the same way when I was playing online. And the reason why is I'm not as good as you, I'm not as good as your girlfriend, and I'm not as good as my good buddy Simon. So that's frustrating. But against the computer, as frustrating as it still can be, I felt like I had more of a sense of progression and some goals. There was still a lot of the 150cc I hadn't done, and I have a tendency with handheld games to play them loads and then just stop about a third of the way into them. It happens all the time. I can't even think of handheld games that I finished ever, really, even going back to Game Boy. So I decided to be a bit more determined and see if I could get through some of the stuff I've got in my little 3DS pouch, this being one of them. And I want to keep playing it because it's one of the best Mario Karts, definitely.
Yeah.
Lovely game.
Yeah, it is. If you ever change your mind about playing online, I haven't played it in ages, so I'll be rusty as hell, and I've still got it.
All right, yeah, I'll drop you a text actually, because it is fun.
Yeah, it is.
What would be good is if we could play it when we're actually in the same room, because that's what you need. Yeah, you need the banter as well.
That's true. And that's got to. Yeah, I mean, I remember when me, you, and Zeno got Mario Kart DS, and we were all in the same gaff. I mean, that was just funny. I think you were in the bath at one point. We were in just screaming abuse at each other around your gaff. It was that's the way to play Mario Kart.
Yeah, I think that might be my favourite ever Mario Kart experience.
Yeah, that was a good one. Fuck yeah. Well, I mean, if you're up for it, I still play that now and again. So
yeah,
game.
Sweet.
Okay, my number 4 is a game called And Yet It Moves on the Nintendo Wii. Have you played this?
No. Have you not talked about this before?
I was going to say, have you talked about it before? Because I played it again on my brother's Wii at the weekend. And I remember you talking about a game where the lead character looks like that old 7-Up guy, Fido. No, that was Cool Spot. Who's Fido Dido?
I don't know.
He's like a pencil drawing with like spiky up hair, white and ways.
I think he was 7-Up as well.
Yeah, weird, non-existent fucking shithouse marketing bullshit guy twat. Anyway, the main character looks like this, and it got me so excited. I was thrilled playing this. I've done about 20% of it, and the only thing that I'll say is that I did 20% in considerably less than an hour, so I don't think it's very long. But it's stunning. It's fucking stunning. It's a WiiWare game that's also originated on the PC, and it's really minimalist. You're in like this paper collage world, and you've got to get from the beginning to the end of the level. And you can only jump, or you can freeze time, and then you tilt the Wii remote, and you can completely tilt the world around.
Right.
And the whole premise is based around the fact that you can't kill momentum. So if you fall from a really high place, freeze time, and then tilt it to land on like the adjacent wall, you'll still die because you can't stop if you fell at a certain speed, you won't stop falling at that speed. So you have to be quite careful about it. But the brilliant way the fucking Wii... I know it was a PC game originally, but it feels like it's one of those games that just like... This is why the Wii was so exciting when it came out, to give you experiences like this. There's the precision that you tilt the Wii remote. I mean, I was just like, this is so fucking good. And it just... I played it, like I said, for about 40 minutes, maybe. And it's just... I was like, genius, great idea. It's a small team again. I don't know how many people it is, but I looked it up and it's an independent studio. I should have written down what they were called and I didn't. I'm an idiot. Apparently, the PC version, there's an option in the Wii version. Apparently, it's mandatory on the PC one, which means that you're restricted to a 90-degree tilt, so you can only tilt the world 90 degrees, which is mad because the best part of the Wii one is that you can get completely lost if you flip everything upside down and start. You can end up going back on yourself really easily. But there's physics puzzles involving rocks that have got to break through stuff, and you have to. I mean, it's just. I was in a state of just like, this is so fucking good, and I can't wait to complete it. The only thing that really sort of let the wind out of my balloon, wind out of my sails, the wind let me down, whatever. It kind of killed it a little bit for me. When I was like, oh fuck, it must be really short if I've already done 20%. But that shouldn't be a criticism. I'm sure there's different modes and all sorts of other shit. And it's on PC if you want to, but I recommend the Wii version. It was just brilliant, a brilliant. I mean, I can't believe it passed me by. Again, this is like came out in either 2009 or 2010, so it's really old. But what a great game to find on WiiWare. Fuck, it's brilliant.
What's it called again?
And Yet It Moves.
It Moves.
Again, you can probably get the PC version for 5p, but the way it works with the Wii remote, I was just like, because I saw it and I was like, never heard of it, I'll give that a try. And I was like, what the fuck is this game? It's so goddamn good. The only problem with it is that there's a real sort of irritating soundtrack, which is basically there's hardly any music, and then it comes in and it's all weird noises and sort of like arty in inverted commas. Just I found that really fucking irritating, but it can't detract from a hell of a game. It's gonna have to do it. You know, I'll play the rest of it. I'll speak about it next week, but it's gonna have to do a hell of a lot wrong to piss me off. Damn good game.
Oh, that does sound good.
Yeah, have a look. I mean,
sound good.
Check the PC version at least. Yeah. Although I don't think won't be as good.
I will check it out. What?
Genuine.
Interesting. Right, my number 4 is the love-hate relationship continues with Hotline Miami.
Oh, yeah.
Went back on it with the intention of just polishing it off, getting through to the end. I wasn't quite as close to the end as I thought, but still, like most of the way through. Get through a hard level, I'm enjoying it. Get to the top floor. You know, like the way you play Hotline Miami is like Super Meat Boy. So you just die over again, and then eventually you get your head around how you're going to do it.
Yeah.
So probably the 30th try on the top floor of this level, managed to nail it all, killed every guy, but level's not finishing. So I'm walking around, must be another guy, I'm pretty sure I've got everyone, level's not finishing. Oh no, it's a dog. He's walked outside the level and he's walking around the outside of the level in the fucking ethereal parallel dimension space. So now I can't fucking finish the game or do anything. So I just had to like hard reset the thing. And I was like, this has happened too many times. Hotline Miami, it's happened too many times, and I just don't know what to do. But I think I'm still going to go back for more.
They're not going to. This won't be allowed on consoles. There's some kind of stringent rules and shit. Because if it's as buggy as you say it is, how are they going to get past the sort of?
I think they're going to have a lot of time in certification.
Yeah.
Quite rightly, because that's not on. That's not on.
Is this just you and some shit computer you've got, or is it genuinely something?
No, I think this is like one of those things that happens every now and again in the game. And if it's the only thing that had ever happened to me, which is if I'd bought the game on this PC 2 weeks ago, say, and I'd played it as I have done on this PC, and all the rest of my experiences had gone, this would be the only bug, and I'd be like, oh, that's annoying, but you know, it's an indie game, I'll let you off the hook and I'll do it again, it'll be fine. But it's like the 9,000th bug that I've had, and the fucking dog just walking around so smug as fuck as well. Bunch of pink.
You're making this game sound like absolute shithouse. I don't even want to try it at the cut. I want to wait until it's been through some kind of process on...
When you play it on console, this sort of thing won't be in there, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, that seems the only way to avoid it at the moment. I'm tempted to download it on a Mac, but...
It's such a brilliant game. I think that's the only reason I keep going back to it.
Yeah.
It is brilliant, but... Yeah, fuck it.
All right, okay.
But every time I talk about it, I'm like, damn, I really want to play that right now.
Have you actually finished it?
No.
Oh, I thought you were going back for...
That's why I went back to finish it.
All right.
And then the levels are hard and they take a long time.
Okay.
The game's probably only a couple of hours long if you're good at it, but it's hard to be good at it.
Okay. One day I'll play that fucking game. One day.
I reckon you'll like it a lot, as long as it doesn't fuck you over.
Yeah.
I reckon you'll like it a lot.
That's why I want to play it on consoles. I can't be bothered with all the shit.
I can't imagine not playing it with a mouse. It's just because it's so snappy how quickly you can move the cursor. But I don't know.
I'm sure. Well, hopefully they'll make it work.
Yeah, I think they will.
Okay, my number 3 is Dead Island Riptide.
All right.
I don't actually have much to say about it. My reaction to it has been quite strange, and I'll talk about it in next week or the week after when I've played it some more. I've played it quite a bit, but my reaction, I haven't been able to shake it, and it's exhaustion really. I was really excited for it as soon as I put the disc in. I was like, I'm really, really up for this, and now I'm just kind of like, I'm not feeling it at all. I felt the same way I did when I went back to Borderlands 2 a couple of weeks ago. I'm just kind of like, I've done this already. It's a new island and stuff, but I like Techland a lot. And it's weird, it's so strange how one thing can be just more of the same and be totally acceptable. In this instance, I'm kind of like, they made so much money from Dead Island and they don't seem to... I mean, am I wrong about this? But wasn't this initially going to be a download pack?
Yeah, I thought it was, and then it got turned into a full game.
It really does feel like it. And I know Dead Island, the original, was heavy on fetch quests. This is nothing but fetch quests so far.
Right.
It's nothing but fetch quests. And the battles go on for too long. There's too many enemies. The only saving grace, I suppose... Actually, it's not really a saving grace. There's much more ammo. And there's even gun turrets in certain places.
Right.
Which means that emphasis is slightly relaxed on the melee combat, which has always been the best thing about it. I don't know why it's not clicking with me so much. I like the new character, the Aussie guy. He specialises in funny... He's like a demon with his fists, so he's just all melee combat. And apparently, I've heard that you can take him and go back and do Dead Island with him as well.
Oh, right.
You can actually play through the first game with him, which was apparently the mod community created a character that only had his fists, and so they obviously took that from them.
Oh, okay.
I'm playing it and I'm just kind of, my eyes glazed over the whole time, and it's just like the frame rate's worse than it was. There's just, I mean, Dead Island was glitchy as hell anyway, but for some reason they're just getting to me more in this one. There was a bit where I had to find something and then the mini-map, like a light bulb dying, disappeared, didn't come back. I had to walk around blind for nothing. I don't understand the thinking, because when Dead Island was such a runaway success, you want to build on it, you want to give bigger and better, and this is just... I'm sure I said something a couple of weeks ago, it's just more of the same, but hey, who doesn't want more of the same? I thought I wanted more of the same from Dead Island, but I'm just... There's something a bit like, why? I mean, nothing? One character who specialises in melee combat, which is something that you took, an idea that you took from the mod community. Is there nothing else? I shouldn't speak about it definitively because I've played probably about 4 or 5 hours.
Right, that's still quite a long time though.
It is, but yeah, I suppose it is. It's just I can't. There's no variety in the missions. They are fetch quests, and that's it. And I'm just like, give me something else. Admittedly, I like the first one on my own, and I'm playing this one on my own again. I will try it. A friend of mine's hopefully going to pick it up, and then we can jump in and do some co-op, because 2-player co-op fine, 4-player co-op on games like this, I don't think it works. I don't think it works on Borderlands or Dead Island. I think it's too much to manage unless you're really regimented, and if you're really regimented, why don't you go and join the army? I don't know. I can't. I'm really disappointed because I was really fucking looking forward to this because I really enjoyed Dead Island. But I'll speak about it either next week or the week after, and we'll see.
Yeah, I was kind of done with Dead Island within Dead Island. But right towards the end of the first game, I was pretty much done with this. It's quite a big game, and as much as I really enjoyed the first half of it, it started to, for me, get a bit too samey. And I didn't quite get to the end. I kind of got to a point where I felt like we had a mutual understanding that we were going to leave each other, and that was about it. And that's why I've not really been interested in Riptide. If they, like you say, if they come back hard and gone, change this, we're going to have all these ideas, proper sequel, maybe they'd held it out for sort of launch time for next gen or something. Yeah, I'd be on board. But for a game that seems like a almost lesser game, I'm right.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, people had problems with the original Dead Island that I never had. So whether the fact that the frame rate at times when there's more than sort of 3 or 4 zombies on the screen, I was like, oh my god, it looks like shit.
Yeah.
But already, I mean, 4 or 5 hours. I don't think I'm coming near to the end, but you can already feel that. I mean, it's pacey and everything, but when all you're doing is fucking going from A to B, A to B, A to B. I'm just like, I think Dead Island was so great because it was such a surprise. This needed to be surprising for a whole host of different reasons, and it's not. It's surprising because they haven't really done fuck all with it, and I'm really disappointed because Techland are my boys. I know you feel the same.
Yeah. Techland are tight. I like Techland.
You'd think that they try. I mean, this is not going to expand the Dead Island audience by one person, I bet, because it's for my money, it's sloppier than the first. I'm fucking disappointed, but I will speak about it more next week probably.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, it is. It's annoying, actually.
I'm going to give Checkers the benefit of the doubt and say that they wanted to do it download and they were coerced into making it full retail.
Very possibly, yeah.
That's just pure spec on my part, though. Yeah. All right. My number 3 is a first-person horror game as well. It's called Cry of Fear. Now, I clicked on Steam on the store, and this was just on there for free. So I downloaded it because I thought, I don't know what this is, but a horror game, PC, I'll try it out. It turns out it's actually quite old, maybe 1 or 2 years old. There's like Let's Plays on YouTube, you know, any horror game's massive on YouTube because you got that fucking PewDiePie kid with his 10 billion subscribers. Do you know who he is?
Probably, but not by name.
He's like a Swedish kid with a baseball cap that plays scary games and kind of overreacts to how scared he is, and people love him. Whatever, I ain't gonna hate. But yeah, this game Cry of Fear is it's done on the Source engine, which is why I assumed that it's appeared on Steam. First person creepy horror starts off with really, really, really ropey cutscene of your bloke getting run over by a mysterious thing, and then you wake up in black basically, and there's X's, white X's, and you go up to them and click. Stuff happens. Sometimes it's a door that opens, and then it's actually quite unsettling. Like there'll be a little flash of a hanging body at one point, and then it started to build up a real sense of tension. I was like, oh, this is actually quite creepy. And then that one came up, and I clicked on the X, and it was just a window and a man just staring at me through the window. And then he just smashes the window, and you fall down. And I was like, fuck, that was actually quite effective, you know, for a surreal opening. Then I walk forward, and what happens? Bah! Big face just jumps out at me, and I was like, man, well done. You activated my fight or flight response with no skill whatsoever. Fuck you. So after that, I was like, without that, there would have been so much better. Anyway, all that gets out of the way. Then you end up just in a city space. It's very sparse. The graphics aren't very good, but it moves nicely, and it has a good atmosphere. And you have an old phone. It's like an old Sony phone, which is the exact same phone that I used to have, an orange one. And you use that as a torch, and you get text on it. And it's basically just a horror adventure with puzzles and clue solving, and creepy stuff happens, and it's quite good. You know, it said the game's like 8 hours long. I was like, I ain't fucking playing this shit for 8 hours. But it's good, and it's free, and you know, it's definitely had some effective chills in there. I don't think it's as classy as something like Amnesia, but it has nowhere near the budget. And yeah, I don't really have anything bad to say. I don't like cheap scares. I think they're crap, but whatever, you know, that's what you need to do to get yourself on PewDiePie's channel to then make yourself some money with your free game. That doesn't even make sense. But, you know, that seems to be this weird, like, self-fulfilling prophecy that he's got big by playing scary games and people like his reactions, and now people are making scary games in order for him to play them and be scared by them, and it's this weird vicious circle of stuff that I don't really understand. But, yeah, Cry of Fear. You might as well check it out.
It's a
Not
PC.
you, but
yeah. It's PC only then, is it?
I wouldn't be surprised if it works on Mac. It certainly doesn't require any great shakes of a computer to run. It looks less impressive than Half-Life 2.
Okay. That kind of shit winds me up as well. There's nothing I appreciate more than a well placed scare, but they're so
it has
rare.
them too, though. That's why I have to give it credit for it. It has them, and the bit where the guy appears, suddenly this guy behind a window just staring at you, but not as a jump scare, just as like, that's fucking weird. That was good, and it just completely undermined it straight afterwards. I was like, man, you didn't need that giant face. You know, why is there a giant face that's the whole size of a screen with no disembodied head just screaming at me? Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, that
sounds better than that.
Sounds pish. Cry of Fear. Maybe I'll check it. maybe I will.
Yeah, you won't, but whatever. Someone will.
I might. Don't rule it out. Okay, my number 2 is Injustice: Gods Among Us. Spoken about it a fair bit. I'm still really, really liking it. I don't think it's quite got the same magic as Mortal Kombat, primarily because none of my friends have got it apart from you, and you never play it. And I haven't found my Melina.
Yeah.
Because when Mortal Kombat launched, I got into I think I was in the top 30 in the world for wins on the trot. And I've never had so many angry messages and rage quits in my life because Melina was my character and I just absolutely mastered her in no time. I mean, she had some fucking cheap moves on her.
Yeah.
But people I think I got well over 100 wins in a row. So yeah, that's the fact that
absurd.
The fact that I haven't got to that level is it means it's not got quite the same magic. I've read a lot of stuff about people getting hammered online by by people who just keep choosing Deathstroke.
Oh really?
Because he's like the equivalent of Striker, and he's got those guns. So I mean, I've seen people try and do it to me. They just try and keep me in the corner by firing those pistols endlessly. But if you're smart, you can get around that. So I'm not. Whenever I face him, I was like, it's going to be fucking easy. He's got those guns and he's got very short, powerful combos. But I think he's fucking beatable. And I'm all about the Green Arrow and Killer Frost, the Sub-Zero substitute. Like I said before, it is. I mean, there's a lot of new stuff, and the campaign's brilliant. But it is a Mortal Kombat reskin. If you've never liked Mortal Kombat, or you were, I mean, because I know some people who weren't even interested because there were so many shit Mortal Kombat games, one after another for years, terrible video games. And the most recent one is the they really got it right. So the fact that they're building upon that is all good with me. But yeah, I'm still enjoying it. I'm really am liking it, and playing online, it's fun, really good.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to play it since the last podcast, but I do want to play. I wouldn't mind a session in real life. Not playing online, having a good real life sesh. So that would be fun. I'm keeping hold of it for that reason. But it certainly didn't grab me as the same way as Mortal Kombat did. But like you say, a bunch of us got it at the same time, and we're all into it. And I've had a kid since then. What can I do? Yeah,
true that. Yeah, well, one day in the same room, it'd be great.
Yeah, exactly. Right, my number 2, another creepy game, nowhere near as creepy. More Luigi's on 3DS. At the end of my 3DS run, there's a bunch of games I didn't even mention on this list. Like I played Zelda for like a minute, was stuck in a temple. I was like, I can't really remember what to do. I can't deal with it. Played a bit more Mario 3D Land, still Gleam. Played a bit of Fire Emblem, still Gleam. But yeah, Luigi's, I actually put in some good time in. It's just so good. I know I've talked about it plenty. We've talked about it plenty. I don't have anything more to add to it really, but it's such a good game. If you have a 3DS or you're thinking about getting a 3DS, which I think a lot of people are at the moment, definitely make sure this is on your list. It is really complete. Really, like every single level is a new, fresh idea. New. It's like constantly challenging you with puzzles, and then as soon as you work it out, you're getting the eureka moment, and it's just classy Nintendo class. Just don't miss out on it if you're thinking about picking up the console, because it would be a damn shame to do so. It's a fine piece of video game.
I agree with that. I think it's the best. No, it's not the best game on the 3DS. It's up there. It's not far below Mario 3D Land. I mean, I haven't played Fire Emblem yet, so
Fire Emblem is very good, but obviously very, very different type of experience.
Yeah, this is a pure Nintendo Gold, and it's
and exciting times ahead with Link to the Past 2 and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. I can't even remember if I finished Link to the Past 1. I was quite young when that came out.
Yeah, likewise.
But, that was good times. All the rain in that shit. Good times.
Yes, good times indeed. All right, speaking of good times, my number 1 is Battlefield 3. Sorry, I should probably stop talking about it.
It'll be Battlefield 4 soon enough.
Yeah, true. I mean, I don't have anything to say. I still love it. I never thought I'd be one of those people that could be entertained for this long with the same game.
It's been a hell of a long time.
Yeah, it has, and it's
like a year and a half, isn't it?
Yeah, it's and it's no signs of slowing. I still think it's just fucking incredible, and so do we all. We're still playing it and loving it to pieces. It's hard. I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. That metro problem that I spoke about before, where as soon as you get outside to the final 2 checkpoints on Rush, one by one, it happened today. I got booted out. I mean, it hard freezes. I have to restart my Xbox, and I jump back into the game, which takes forever. And then I'm back into the game, and then someone else they'll leave the party, and you find out that they crashed, and then like just dominoes falling. It's the kind of problem that if it was more apparent when the game launched, I think people would be really, really kicking up a fuss about it, because it's one of the most loved maps, and it's basically every single time you play it, you get fucking booted out. Which is just fucking bizarre. But goddamn, Battlefield 3 is good.
But my number one is also Battlefield 3.
No, it isn't.
Nah, it's not. It's a game I've talked about too much as well. It's Bioshock Infinite. Had been sucking away all my gaming time in the very few hours that we've had between two podcast recordings. Still Gleam, still PC version, still loving it. Looks beautiful, plays beautiful, love the game. The more I play it, the more I enjoy the combat. I think it's actually quite a well-developed combat system. I'm having loads of fun experimenting with the vigors that I didn't really do in the first time I played it through. I didn't really combine much of them. Stuff like if you combine Bucking Bronco with Devil's Kiss, you create this like chain reaction explosion with everything that goes into the air. It's a lot deeper than it seems, and it definitely benefits from multiple playthroughs. And it's just experimenting with the different weapons and the different tears and stuff. Yeah, I do rate the combat actually, and obviously all the rest of it's still Gleam. Don't need to talk about it much more. I'm sure almost everybody's played it and has an opinion, which is what's great about that game. Even if you don't like it, at least you have an opinion. More games like that, please.
Yeah, I agree with you. When I go through it again, and I will do at some point, one thing I didn't do is I didn't really experiment with all the vigors that much.
Yeah.
And that's you could get that sense that playing with two and sort of using them off the back of each other would be that's something that I'm definitely going to do.
There are a bunch of specific combinations that it doesn't tell you what they are. There's an achievement for getting all of them, so I'm just trying to figure out what they are. I know you can set fire to the crows. Now, you can do this thing with Bucking Bronco and that, and there's something you can do with I think with Undertow and the Shock Jockey as well. So, there must be a few more in there that I haven't quite uncovered yet. And I haven't even unlocked that Ram one. I didn't do that first time through, so I want to play with that as well. So, people who said that the vigors aren't really worth much in the game probably didn't play out on hard, which is fine. You shouldn't play out on hard first time through. And probably used to games telling you how to do everything on a plate. And it doesn't. It's like it's there to experiment with if you want. And once you do, it's actually the combat has been, for me, second time through, way more vigor heavy. I'm killing most enemies with vigors now instead of guns, and feeling like some sort of wicked wizard. So it's all about being a whiz.
The whiz, Michael Jackson. All right, that is us done. Thank you very much for listening. What episode is this? 61.
It is 61, yeah.
61, done. All right, well, yeah, thanks very much for listening. As usual, check out all of the stuff, the website, the Twitters, at John Denton, at Chet Roivers, or at Chet and Johns if you just want a text when the new episode's going out. And the website, not much on there. And there was something else, Facebook's. That's
YouTube, baby. YouTube, Chet and John.
Check out the Check out the YouTube. And that's it. We'll hopefully see you next week, and hopefully there'll be some more excitement on the go, because nothing came out this week apart from Dead Island, and I ain't played it very much. Get me.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Why are you following me?
We were already here.
Why are you following us?
Aperitif. You missed.
You'll find the going tough enough without slaughtering your friends.
Or your ammunition. Missed. Missed again. 4 out of 5. Another miss, and a miss.
We can afford to do this all day.
The question is,